Very early on in the project, I recognised that the role of the facilitator was absolutely key to the success of the project.
I think it is helpful if the person knows about the service that they're about to work with, and they know the teams, and that they're able to talk with staff and patients in a neutral, comfortable way without the assumptions that somehow staff will always know better, patients will always know better, whichever side of that balance it is. And that may be somebody who's done a lot of work with patients, and therefore is a clinical person, for example, or it may not be.
Having a background of managing services or managing a ward or being involved with patients directly, clinical nurse specialists. But I don't think it's exclusive. I think it's about the person and whether you can be open and be quite on a one-to-one basis with people.
You do the usual things that you do when you are getting groups of people together to make some improvements and change, and you also need to adapt that because some of the people in that group are patients. So you arrange the meetings at a time that suits the majority of people in the group. It's useful to do that at the time at which they sign up, when you get a sense of what suits people all together. And you have regular meetings, make them frequently enough to kind of keep the momentum going, but not so frequently that you don't have time to do things in between. The responsibility for doing the work falls on the staff, but the responsibility for identifying what is to be done comes from the discussion between the patients and the staff together, and that's the difference.
It was very, very well facilitated, which I think was absolutely crucial. I think the fact there was a really very clear agenda and a very clear summary at the end, and we knew what was going to happen and what was going to be addressed, made the meeting move on. You know, I think things actually happened.
It's about people having confidence in the process and people understanding the process. And I think having the staff meeting first and doing the staff interviews and bringing the staff together and letting the patients meet together and gaining confidence within those two groups and organising their priorities and then bringing the two together was a really very strong way of moving this project forward.